And over to you, Mayor.
Chris, you're on mute.
Good evening, councillors, CEO, executive, and good evening, listeners. Welcome to the September meeting of council. Again, not our preferred way to meet this way, but a way that unfortunately we do need to meet for health requirements. I am required to read something that I have done recently, an instruction from the Minister for Local Government about the way that we are meeting. Conducting a council meeting remotely and supported by technology is a relatively new experience for all of us. This enables council to continue to meet and conduct business throughout our current lockdown restrictions. We are glad to be able to meet tonight, albeit in a unique manner. Consistent with the guidelines provided by the Victorian State Government, we are broadcasting a live audio stream of tonight's council meeting. We are using a system that complies with the Victorian Government's advice on minimising the risks to cybersecurity. We will operate with some revised meeting procedures that align with the intent of our local law that governs the way council meets and undertakes its business. As councillors, we are all able to see each other and our community is able to hear the meeting, the debate and council resolutions. If technical problems are encountered which prevent the meeting being live streamed through the website, the meeting will be adjourned until the technical issues can be resolved, or schedule the meeting to a future date if it can't be resolved. And the acknowledgement of country. I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the country of the Dharug. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the area and their forebears. We acknowledge their living culture and the unique role in the life of this region. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And the council prayer. Almighty God, we ask you to be present in this council, direct and guide our deliberations. We ask you to grant us wisdom and sensitivity as we deal with the business of our shire. May each decision that we make advance the well-being of all our residents. This we pray. Amen. Councillors, we have an agenda before us, and again, a warm welcome, even if we're not meeting in the way that we want to. Apologies, I think we are a full house, and so therefore, and no leave of absence. Councillors, disclosures of conflict of interest. Any conflict of interest, councillors? If not, confirmation of the minutes of the previous council meeting, that is for August. That has been circulated. Are there any concerns with the draft minutes as circulated? If not, I'll declare those confirmed. Now, we have minutes of Delegated Advisory Committees, the most important committee, and that is 6.1, noting the approved minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee, seeking a motion to note and receive those minutes.
Mr Mayor, I would like to move that Council note to confirm minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting of the 7th of June 2021.
Thank you so much, Councillor Lovett. A seconder to that? Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Councillor Lovett, did you want to talk to that motion at all?
No, just to say that these minutes have been presented to Council and all the actions that are required on them have been noted, and this is just to confirm that those minutes will be received.
Thank you, Councillor Lovett. Councillor Murphy? Anything?
I concur with Councillor Lovett, and thank you.
Any other councillors? If not, we'll put the motion that we note and receive the minutes as presented. All those in favour? Those against? The minutes are received and noted. We have no petitions, so let us move straight to Officers' Report item 8. Item 8.1, the Community Township Plans a Progress Report. Councillor seeking a motion. Councillor Long, and your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So my motion is the recommendation from the officers that council recommend further scoping of the key priority project in Bialaba, Talbot, Carisbrook, Maryborough and Denali with interested community members, formally commit to the role of councillors as champions of the community township plans. And number 3, endorse the community engagement team communicating next step with the community plans with workshops, participants and the broader community.
Thank you, Councillor Long. A seconder to that motion? Thank you, Councillor de Villiers. Councillor Long, talking to the motion, please.
Thank you. Through the Mayor. I'm excited to move this motion in regards to the community township plans. As ward councillor in 2 of the township mentioned in the officer's report, Bialaba and Denali, I often meet with constituents and hear about their dreams and aspirations for their towns. Having lived in Timor West for a substantial number of years, I've personally grown passionate about nurturing small communities through personal action. And I'm grateful that I now have this opportunity together with council to lead change through community outreach activities. And as champion of the community township plans, I'm excited to be an enabler of community empowerment, leadership and self-determination. Our small communities are such a rich melting pot of residents who are all passionate about their communities. And I really look forward to making these places in my role as ward councillor even better in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Long. Councillor de Villiers.
No, I think Councillor Long said it all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Other councillors? I just wanted to thank those involved, the ward councillors in this, and our community engagement manager, Kylie, who did and her team, I should add, who did a fantastic job bringing this together. Importantly, I think now we've got some key priorities in each of the key locations, and I think it's what I call the 3 C's, bringing together capability, confidence and commitment. So start with the project and then you develop those 3 things and you move on to bigger things. And I think we're off to a start. We're taking action, and importantly, it's the communities that are leading that action. We'll support them. As you said, Councillor Long, the ward councillors will champion this, support this, working with the officers and staff. We're off to a good start on an important exercise. How good is that? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8.2, Walking and Cycling Advisory Group amendment to the membership. Councillor seeking a motion. Thank you, Councillor Vella. And your motion?
The motion is that council endorses the revised draft terms of reference.
Thank you. And a seconder to that? Thank you, Councillor Long. Councillor Vella.
On the 3rd of September, the Recreation team and I met to progress the establishment of WCAG. At this meeting, it was identified that sports focus would be an integral addition to the advisory group. Sports Focus is one of the 9 regional sports assemblies across Victoria. They are a non-for-profit organisation which aims to support and empower sporting clubs to be safe, inclusive, welcoming spaces for the broader community to enjoy sport and active recreation. Their service area being Loddon-Campaspe region includes Central Goldfield Shire, City of Greater Bendigo, Loddon Shire, Macedon Ranges Shire, Mount Alexander Shire and Shire of Campaspe. The inclusion of sports focus to the WCAG would enable an invaluable advice from these areas, which would in turn build the capacity of the advisory committee, therefore improve council's decision-making process. Their inclusion will also ensure council continues to build upon previous achievements and our sporting groups will benefit through improved positive health and well-being. It is therefore proposed that Sports Focus is invited to become a member of the Walking and Cycling Advisory Group as an organisational representative, along with the following organisations: Djaja Aboriginal Clans Corporation, Sport and Recreation Victoria, the Regional Manager, Department of Transport Loddon Mallee, Parks Victoria, Victoria Police, and also the Committee for Maryborough. Our council's coordinator of recreation contacted Sports Focus to determine their interest. They indicated they were very keen to join the WCAG if councillors agree. Therefore, in conclusion, it's proposed that Sports Focus is invited to become a member of the WCAG committee. Sports Focus will bring a great deal of expertise in increasing participation in physical activity by females, young people, older people and people with disabilities. This will aid decision making and enable strengthening of the partnerships between council and Sports Focus. The next step is to finalise the expression of interest process to conduct the inaugural Walking and Cycling Advisory Group meeting in late October, early November.
Thank you, Councillor Vella. Councillor Long.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't think I could add any more to that if I tried. Councillor Lavella has done a wonderful job in speaking to the motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other councillors? Not, I'll put the motion as presented. All those in favour? I can't see my hand, but it's up there somewhere. It's waving. All those against, the motion is carried. Thank you for that. Item 8.3, the draft municipal health and wellbeing plan. Very important area. Seeking a motion, councillors. Thank you, Councillor Vella. And your motion?
The council endorses the draft municipal public health and wellbeing plan 2021-2025 for public comment commencing Wednesday, which is tomorrow, 29th of September, for a period of 14 days. The council notes the approved extension to submit the plan to the Department of Health on the 27th of October 2021, if adopted by council on the 26th of October 2021.
Thank you, Councillor Vella. And a seconder?
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Sproul. Councillor Vella.
The Public and Wellbeing Plan required under the Public Health Act 2008 takes a fresh approach to supporting our community's health and wellbeing. This plan has been developed by Council with a collaborative input from a group of 193 stakeholders and residents of Central Goldfields Shire. It aligns with the priorities and the focus areas outlined in the Victorian Public Health and Wellbeing Plan 2019-2023. It's worth noting this plan is one of 3 critical strategies required under the state government legislation alongside the council plan and the municipal strategic statement. In the previous public health and wellbeing plan, most of the responsibility for action was delegated to Goldfields. This has been identified as not sustainable nor an effective strategy, placing a large burden on the small team without adequate mechanisms to engage council's unique levers. Council will lead by example through taking action to make the plan work. This positions health and wellbeing at the forefront of council's decision-making processes. There is a table within the document, and it's on page 8, which outlines the levers, and worth noting the directorates of support are infrastructure and assets planning, community wellbeing, and corporate performance. Challenges and not unsurmountable and opportunities exist for our health and wellbeing, which is referenced on page 10 and 11 of the document. Over the next 4 years, we will work together with our community to prevent all forms of violence, improve mental wellbeing and social connection, increase healthy eating, increase active living, reduce harms from gambling, tobacco and alcohol, tackle climate change, its impacts on health, and respond to public health emergencies. It's also worth noting what the community wants is outlined on page 13 of the same document. This is a very exciting plan, and I'd love to talk further. However, I believe I'd get the proverbial gong from the head of the table. So in summary, the draft Municipal Public Health and Wellbeing Plan 21-25 is ready for Council to endorse for public comment, which is a period of 14 days commencing tomorrow, Wednesday the 29th, which will be accessed through Central Goldfields website, Have Your Say page, social media, Maryborough Advertiser, smaller community papers and newsletters. Please submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Vella. Councillor Sproul.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Health and wellbeing says it all, really. We want to live healthy, comfortable, fulfilling lives. This document gives a good picture of who and where we are, with views looking to where we want to be. The draft municipal health and wellbeing plan identifies key challenges that we face both individually and as a community, as well as highlight the opportunities available to us. The document covers how we will implement the plan, what actions we will take, and how we will evaluate those actions. The document also identifies health and wellbeing priorities and gives some brief statistics around those areas. I found the draft enjoyable, easy to read and positive. I'd like to acknowledge all those that contributed to the draft and also to the officers for their extensive hours that they have put into preparing this document. Do yourself a favour, take the time to read it and provide feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sproul. Other councillors? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. Thank you for that. Item 8.4, Neighbourhood Safer Places Plan. Councillor seeking a motion. Thank you, Councillor de Villiers. And your motion? You're on mute, Councillor de Villiers.
Sorry, I thought I unmuted. The motion is that Council adopt the Neighbourhood Safer Places Plan 2021-2022.
Thank you, Councillor de Villiers. A seconder to that motion. Thank you, Councillor Lovett. Councillor de Villiers.
Yes, I would like to just say a few words. We live in an area where extreme conditions have been experienced in the past. The aim of this plan is to identify safe areas in the event of fire and is a direct consequence of the Black Saturday fires and the interim recommendations from the Bushfires Royal Commission and is required by legislation. The plan is revisited every year and the review is undertaken by the CFA and the Council. 4 safe areas have been identified and will be well advertised within the community so that people will know where to go as a last resort in the event of an adverse event. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor de Villiers. Councillor Lovett.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. As Councillor de Villiers has said, this is a very important plan to be used in case of emergency. The reality is in Central Goldfields Shire, that emergency is most likely to be bushfires. So this is a very important report that should be looked at and noted. Throughout the Shire, there have been a number of neighbourhood safer places identified in various towns. They will be advertised, they will be signposted, and our residents should make note of where they are. I should point out, however, that these are places of last resort. Each of our residents, particularly in the outlying areas, should have their own personal and family fire plans. They should be reviewed annually by the individuals concerned. And if things get very serious, as we've said, these are places of last resort where our residents can go and assemble during times of emergency. Very important. So study where they are. They will be signposted, so you will know where to go if they're needed, and we hope they're not. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Lovett. Other councillors? Not, I'll put the motion as presented. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8.6, the bituminous spray seeding program for 2021-2022. Councillor seeking a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to move that Council award Boral Resources Proprietary Limited the 2021-2022 sealing program for the lump sum of $537,490.46 ex GST.
Thank you, Councillor Lovett and Councillor Long. I saw your hand go up there, so I think you're prepared to second that motion. Is that so?
Thank you.
Councillor Long. Councillor Lovett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Speaking to the motion, Council have a very extensive and rolling program of sealing our road surfaces and road network. This is very important work that we undertake. Following government legislations, we put out requests for tender to carry out these work, and a number of tenders were received. A selection panel of our staff assessed all the tenders, and it was deemed that Boral were chosen as the best tender. I have to say, not only because their price was very competitive, but they do, as a company, have a proven ability to undertake this work to our satisfaction, which I think is very important. So to see Boral get this job is very exciting.
Thank you, Councillor Lovett. Councillor Long.
Nothing further to add. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Long. Other councillors?
Just one point, Mr. Mayor, that was, you just identified that as 8.6, not 8.5.
I apologise, you're right, it is 8.5. I'm trying not to hold out the papers like this. It is a strain on my eyes. Thank you, Councillor Sproul. I apologise about that. It is 8.5 indeed. I'll put, therefore, if there's no other councillors, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, those against, the motion is carried. I think I need one of those giant magnifying glasses to see sometimes. Item 8.6, got it right this time, Councillor Sproul, and that is Section 18, Instrument of Subdelegation under the Environment Protection Act 2017. Councillor seeking a motion?
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Sproul. Motion.
Sorry, I'll move the motion that Council adopt the attached S18 instrument of subdelegation for the members of council staff set out in the instrument. Number 2, that the attached S18 instrument of subdelegation comes into force immediately and remains in force until council determines to vary or revoke it. And 3, that the attached S18 instrument of subdelegation be signed by the Chief Executive Officer.
Thank you, Councillor Sproul. A second to that motion. Thank you, Councillor Lovett. Councillor Sproul, anything you want to say, speak to the motion at all?
Just to go over again, so the delegation comes into force immediately. It remains in force until revoked. So this instrument of subdelegation is subject to the following limitations: that the powers, duties and functions are only delegated for the purposes of regulating on-site wastewater management systems with a design or actual flow rate of sewerage not exceeding 5,000 litres on any day, and noise from the construction, demolition, or removal of residential premises. The delegate must not determine the issue, take action, or do the act or thing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Sproul. Councillor Lovett?
Nothing further to add, Mr Mayor.
Thanks, Councillor Lovett. Other councillors? Not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8.7, compliance policies for council adoption, the Food and Act compliance and enforcement, the compliance and enforcement policy, and the caravan and camping on private property. Councillors seeking a motion. Thank you,
I'll
Councillor
move.
Villiers. And your motion?
Great. I would like to make an alternative to the officer's recommendation. Do you want me to expand on it now?
That'd be fine. If you can indicate what your alternative to the officer's recommendation is, that'd be great.
Alternative is that we adapt policy 2 and 3 as stated in the minutes, but that we defer policy 1, the caravans and camping on private land policy, for more discussion.
Okay, would you just like to, for clarification, just for the gallery, perhaps indicate the two policies that you are recommending, that is 2 and 3, what those policies are?
Policy 2 is to the Food Act compliance and enforcement policy, and number 3 is the compliance and enforcement policy.
Okay, thank you, Councillor de Villiers. A seconder to that motion? Councillor Long, thank you. Councillor de Villiers. Talk to the motion? Speak to the motion?
No, I don't really have anything further to add to that. We will hopefully be able to bring the policy 1 to council soon.
Thank you, Councillor de Villiers. Councillor Long?
I don't have anything either to add, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Other councillors? Councillor Murphy.
Yeah, I'd just like to congratulate Councillor de Villiers on picking up a few things that I didn't pick up, and to go back and have a look at the caravan and camping policy is a good thing to do, and it'll all help for the future, and it's a good thing to defer that policy. So yeah, well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Murphy.
Councillor Murphy, other councillors? Look, I agree, Councillor Murphy. I think this is one of these things. We have briefing sessions. We spend a lot of time on briefings, and our officers spend a lot of time briefing us. And most of the time that's sufficient. With our own preparation, our study, our briefings, we can go into a council meeting feeling we're confident about the issues. Occasionally, it turns out that there's some unanswered questions, and Councillor de Villiers, you led the charge in raising some of those issues, and we found there were other issues. So the sensible thing always in that case is to take the time to get further briefings, give it further consideration. So when we do bring it forward and we make a resolution, then we're confident that it's what we think should be there. So yes, Councillor de Villiers, your attention to detail and your eye to challenge these things has led the charge. Good on you for that. So I'll put the motion that we proceed with those other two policies, the compliance enforcement and the Food Act compliance enforcement, but we defer for further consideration the caravan and camping on private policy, as Councillor de Villiers moved and Councillor Long seconded. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. Item 8.8, the certification of financial and performance statements for 2020-2021, a statutory requirement. Seeking a motion.
Mr Mayor, I would like to move that council give its approval in principle to the annual financial report and performance statement for the 2020-2021 financial year, And additionally, that Council authorises Councillor Mayor Chris Meadows-Taylor and Councillor Anna de Villiers to certify the financial and performance statements in their final form on behalf of and with the full authority of the Council.
Thank you, Councillor Lovett. A seconder? Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Councillor Lovett.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I would like to point out that this is a very important performance of Council. And the first word says it's all, certification. This is Council actually formally certifying that the financial and performance statements are true and accurate, which is a very onerous responsibility on Council. We're actually taking a legal step and certifying that, in our opinion, these statements are true, accurate, and correct. Our External Audit and Risk Committee have already been through these financial and performance statements, and they have also indicated to Council that they have given them their in-principle support. When we go through the various reports, the cash position, the income statement, statement of capital works, and the balance sheet, I have to say it's very pleasing to note that the current cash position of Council is strong and expected to remain strong at the end of the financial year. The financial management of Council is being very well looked after by our CEO and her staff, and it's a credit to all people involved that Council are kept fully informed at all stages of the process. And probably more importantly, if there are any red flags in the system, these are brought to Council very early so that remedial action can be taken. So I'm very happy and pleased to move that the certification of these accounts be undertaken.
Thank you, Councillor Lovett. Councillor Murphy?
Yeah, I can't say much more than that, Jeff. It's very important. Being part of the Risk and Audit Committee, we can see that, and that really risk and audit and financial plans, anything to do with financial is very important to make sure we're above board and everything's going well. And I agree with you, Jeff. So give it off to the Mayor to deal with. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Other councillors?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, just to follow on from Councillor Lovett's comments on the importance of this document. I just wanted to, I suppose, acknowledge the help from the officers of the first-time councillor getting your head around and actually understanding this document of how important it actually is and all the facts and figures. Yeah, the way that the officers have actually explained it, to me personally, to make sure we get everything great is really welcomed, and thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Councillor Sproul. I think that would be well endorsed by us all. Other councillors?
No.
If I can just pick up on that particular point of thanks and pick up on Councillor Lovett's comments earlier and Councillor Murphy's, I really do want to acknowledge this is very much a team effort. And the leadership provided by the CEO in this is, in her own background and finance, has been important, but particularly to acknowledge, I mean, we had two key appointees this year, Mr. Smith and Ms. Sperling, who both new to this area and new to local government, but what a tremendous sort of contribution they've made in such a short period of time, leading us through this process. So real thanks to them, because the professionalism that both of them have brought to this task, they're obviously a very rich background, but not in local government. And I mean, just going through the local government hoops is hard for anyone. So real congratulations to you, Mick, and to Philip for a fantastic job. But it's also, and thanks to our CEO too for oversight of that, because it has been a very, as you said, Councillor Sproul, You know, the support, the explanations, the readiness has been there. But I'd be wrong not to acknowledge the mover and the seconder, that is Councillor Lovett and Councillor Murphy, who represent us on the Audit and Risk Committee. It's an incredibly important representation that Council makes, and we're so fortunate that we've got two very experienced councillors with good business acumen and business knowledge and financial understanding representing it. So I think, in thanking everyone else, councillors, I do want to acknowledge the contribution that you both continue to make to the Audit and Risk Committee. With that, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. And item 8.9, I'm checking all these numbers very carefully there. Item 8.9, the draft long-term financial plan requirement, statutory requirement, now under the Local Government Act 2020, a new one, seeking a motion. Thank you, Councillor Lavella, and your motion?
The recommended that Council receives and notes the attached draft long-term financial plan 2021-2031, and Council endorses the draft 2031 long-term financial plan.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lavella. A seconder to that motion? Thank you, Councillor de Villiers. Councillor Lavella.
The Local Government Act 2020 requires Council to prepare a long-term financial plan as part of the suite of strategic documents. The LTP or LTFP provides a 10-year view on the financial stability of Council and acts as a framework for analysing impacts of Council decisions on its financial sustainability. The long-term financial plan includes a 10-year view of income statement, balance sheet, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flows, statement of human resources. The report sets out the assumptions for preparing the plan, which are integral to the forecasted outcomes. I'd love to speak further. However, I do believe the Mayor has a great deal more to add. So I'll hand it over to you, Mr. Mayor, when you've finished with the seconder.
Indeed. Thank you for that. Councillor de Villiers.
No, nothing further to add. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Other councillors? Councillor Murphy?
Like in any business, we need to look to the future and we need to know where we're going in business and what we're doing. Well, some might say that council is not a business. Well, it is. It is. We've got a lot of commitments, a lot of things we have to do, a lot of responsibilities, and it goes right through from all the council officers and workers and people working in the parks and gardens, right through to the councillors. And we have to be over what our financial future is and where we're going. Now, you're remiss if you're not looking to that future. And if you're running any small business, middle business, larger business, if you're not concerning yourself what's going to happen in 5 or 10 years' time, you're not really doing justice to where you're going. And we have to do justice to the community, to where we're going, to a situation where we're going to be viable and solvent. And it's important to know and have a plan for that and to keep to that situation. It will change. It will change from year to year, from every 3 or 4 years. Might change when different council groups come in. But as long as there's a long-term plan and that we can look at that and keep looking at it and keep tweaking it and making sure things are right, we're in a good stead. And I like to congratulate, and it's good working with Mick and his team on this situation, and it's something that we need to do by the state government, but it's very much a common sense situation that any business, so a council should do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Anyone else? Look, and Councillor Lavella did indicate, I did want to say a couple of words on this, a few words, because I like, as Councillor Lavella has said, and Councillor Murphy's just stressed again, this is an important requirement. I think this is one where the 2020 Act has added an important requirement that we have a 10-year financial plan. As Councillor Murphy said, I think this will change. I think this is going to change very much in our own lifetime of this council. It may change as early as next year as we start to consider how we're going to implement the council plan and consider the very vexed issue, but very critical issue of borrowings in the present climate. We also have another requirement of the new 2020 Act, which will be completed, I think, around about Easter, April next year, and that is the asset management plan, which will, I think, be a very, very important document as we look not only in ageing infrastructure and roads, as all communities, as all councils look to, and rural councils and regional councils have a particular struggle in that area. But of course, we have our rich heritage buildings that we love dearly and treasure, but as we know, the cost of maintaining those and keeping those to the standard they should be is massive. But this council, the point I wanted to make, this council, and Councillor Lovett will know this well, this council, even before rate capping environment, well before, has always championed the situation of small rural councils and the difficulties they faced. And I stress that was before rate capping, and how particularly onerous the task is of actually taking their communities they lead forward on such tight resources. And we led work with a number of other councils on this. It didn't quite get the changes that we wanted, but it got at the time a commitment by the government at that stage some years ago to commit to $1 million of extra road funding over 4 years as a response to those particular problems. Unfortunately, then, of course, the changes of government, that 4 years come to an end and we're back to the problems we have. Rate capping, there is a review of rate capping after 5 years. I think realistically, most of us would accept rate capping is here to stay because it's electorally popular, and governments and oppositions, I think, would see and understand that. The issue is that it is really, if you look in this document to our 10-year plan and the adjusted underlying result, it's not surprising, but what it does show in crystal stark clarity, how difficult it is to balance the budget. And that situation for us and all other rural shires, I mean, all councils are facing this, but the challenge for small rural councils is so much more, and it's so much harder because we just don't have the fat around to be able to move this around or not do that. We cut hard into the bone. And that is what this draft plan is showing us. Now, the time, and I've spent some time talking with the CEO about this, about what we might do usefully in advocacy. As the CEO has pointed out, we should really wait until the asset plan comes in next March, April, because I think that will give us a much stronger argument again to show how desperate our situation is. But I would hope that even now, I think we could start in response to the review that the government has. We'll work with our regional partners. We'll work with the bodies that we're represented by, Rural Councils Victoria, MAV, the BLGA. We will start a process that will only strengthen next year, and I hope that we will together be able to put to the government at least a plan that will say with rate capping, this is the viable support that is absolutely needed. And the work that we did earlier, some years ago, actually shows it in the scheme of government spending, it's not a great deal at all, but can make rural councils so much stronger that they are. So it's really the change from morning tea in terms of government expenditure, but it's a critical element for us. So we have to renew our focus on that. This is an issue that won't go away. We have to find a win-win solution for it. But it is also, my final point simply is that it's a warning shot across the bows. Not only do we need to seek support from government in ways that they feel that they can meet and support us with, but we have to grow. We have to drive our own prosperity, our own opportunity. We've talked as a council, we know there are ways we can do that, because we need to increase our own wealth base, our own rate base, our own basis of prosperity to provide the services our community demands of us, wants of us, because we can't just always depend on government. So a lot of work ahead, but this is an important document. This tells us we have got a big challenge ahead, but I think we're up to the challenge, I think, and we won't shirk from it. We shouldn't do that. Our community depends on us not to do that. I'll put the motion then. All those in favour? Those against? The motion is carried. That completes the officers' report, section item 8. We have no use of the common seal. We have no notices of motion before us. Councillors, urgent business. Urgent business. Any other business at all? We have no confidential business. Therefore, at 6:47 p.m, I declare the meeting closed. Thank everyone for their presence. Only sorry we can't be together, but hopefully if we get that tax rate up and up and up, we might well hopefully be meeting together very soon. Thank you, councillors. Thank you all to our gallery. Thank you all to the officers for supporting this so well. Thank you.